back, video. Welcome back, video. Welcome back. Welcome back, video creeps. What up, guys?
What up? Welcome to my channel, Video Creep. Make sure you hit subscribe.
Hello, internet fans. Do you want to learn about horror movies that you never knew existed? Do you miss the video store but not the late fees? Then join us at 3B Video, where we talk about stuff like this, and this, and this. If you'll excuse me, I've got some videotapes to return. You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Hello, potential survivors. Ghostfake here, and I'm here to talk to you about a perfectly harmless, yet sometimes fatal affliction called subscriber's guilt. This unbelievably dangerous disease occurs when YouTube recommends a video that you may like, and based off the one video, you subscribe to that channel, only to find out that every other video on that channel is complete trash. Well, I'm here to tell you that at Survivor's Guilt, you don't have to worry about that, because every video is trash. Here at Survivor's Guilt, we determine your chances of surviving your favorite and not favorite horror movies, using our patented survival stat technology based loosely in science. We calculate your exact odds of surviving through these movies. Did I say exact? I meant exaggerated and biased. We do this by taking a look at our main characters and the death that surrounds them to determine your chances of suffering survivor's guilt. So don't afflict yourself with subscriber's guilt, try survivor's guilt, and prepare to be disappointed.
This one's gonna be a hard one. No pun intended.
Down the catwalk every day, and maybe someday we'll go all the way.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. A sequel was all but inevitable, really.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to BTB. We are back. It is Mick and Lenny. We are here, and we're enjoying it. It is a cult-tastic time. Lenny, how you doing, sir? I know you're frozen.
Frozen? Oh, son of a gun, man. And I was doing my intro with my eye, the roll there, and I get frozen again, but I am doing good. Another productive week with us here. I'm loving it.
Yep, we are on to another week, and we're having fun. It is a good time, and we have a special guest tonight.
Yes.
And I am very excited to have him on because he's been on the shows before.
He has.
He is super fun.
And he's
Mr. Charismatic.
He is. Better than me.
Better than all of us, probably.
Yeah.
And he is a martial arts movie guru. and I can't wait to hear what he has to say about our topic for tonight. Mr. Gerard DeBardlebon. Woo! Now when I call you on, I say your last name perfect, except that one time.
Jeez. Well, but see, now every time he comes on, he's going to want that introduction too, like that awesome intro.
He can have it. I'll give it to him. No problem. That's your interaction from now. Your.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I hear talking with no sound. Mike, what did you do again?
And there it is. I'm trying to move out of the way so you can see the poster right behind my head.
I love it. And here's the best part about it. We'll get to our analyzing of American Ninja later. But I have so much to say about this movie. It's going to be epic. I don't think I've watched this movie since the 80s.
I can say yes, same for me actually, but we'll talk about that part later. I
have to admit that I have watched this movie probably 3 times in the last quarter of this year.
And I'm going to defer to you a lot of questions. Listen, let me tell you, it's the most Reagan-tastic movie in the world.
Yes,
John Wayne even makes an appearance in the movie, but we will get to that. So tonight, before we start and do our analyze, I just want to say thank you for being on, Gerard. It's awesome. Len, thank you for being back for a new week. And we're going to do cult martial arts movies, something we've never done on the show before, and I'm very excited for this because there's a lot. But I want your definition. Gerard, tell me, what's your definition of like a cult martial arts movie?
A cult martial arts movie is something that a martial arts purist will call their reason for getting into the martial arts.
Okay. So if that is the case, would you classify, maybe not as a cult because it was huge, it was a huge hit, but it got a lot of people into karate in the 80s. Would you classify the Karate Kid?
Yes. So the Karate Kid was definitely one of those cult classics that got a lot of people into wanting to learn the crane kick.
Yeah.
Like, and if you didn't want anything else to do with the martial arts, everybody knew the crane kick.
Yes.
And tried to pull it off at least once.
Yes, and probably failed every time too. So
that has to be the only move in the history of moves from movies that you can see without a doubt not being effective whatsoever.
I disagree with that.
Oh, sorry. I feel like you said before, once the hands go up, like you said, Gerard, like I feel like that's when you just go like running into like the opponent and just like pop him in the face. Like, all right, no, we're not having that. So,
well, I guess now that's the case, but like back then, I'm wondering if I just because I remember trying it and everybody tried it and like it was just one of those things. So for me, it's like. What were we thinking? Like, were we really thinking?
So you got to go back to the logic of Mr. Miyagi. Done correctly, no can defend, which means that we weren't doing it correctly as kids.
That's correct. And again, we were kids. We had no formal training whatsoever.
Exactly.
I got to know how it's done correctly because let's face facts. Daniel did not do that correctly.
So all the crane kick really is just a jump scissor kick. That's it.
Yeah.
And a jump scissor kick is probably the first kick I learned, or first jump.
Uh-oh. It's just us.
No.
You're both frozen.
See, even even Gerard's frozen picture is better than mine. It's like we just cannot. Oh, geez. Anyway, technical
difficulties. I'm still here though, and we're still going. Gerard will be back, I promise.
Yes,
but I still maintain that the crane kick is an ineffective move, even if done right.
No, absolutely. No, you're right, Mick. I mean, you also have to have the elevation. That's the thing, and again, I think any bully or a kid or whoever growing up, you know what the crane kick coming in for is. So there, we good? Yeah, we're good now. Nice. What it's gonna be? So like Rod said, it's gonna be a scissor kick to your face. You're gonna just duck it to the side and bam. That's all it is.
Johnny could not do that though.
Well,
so let me ask you this: do you think that it was overconfidence that did it? Do you think Creasy would fall for the crane kick if Miyagi did it to him?
Oh yeah, it comes. Yeah, because
his ego would definitely let him run directly into that.
Yeah,
because it's all about making the first move. Once you make the first move, like with some graceful kick, everybody's gonna fall for it.
Well, also isn't that like one of the biggest things with like karate and in general is it's the overconfidence of your opponent. If you're over, you never walk into to a dojo and see the instructor talking trash or saying how big he is and how much he's gonna wreck this guy. You don't see it. You see nice and quiet. He studies your opponent and he dissects him basically. So mentally and physically.
So then, okay, if that's the case, then so like the karate boom happens because of the Karate Kid, right? And now it got big, it got huge. And again, we're gonna get for kids. You don't think for adults too? I think a lot of people got into it.
I think Bruce Lee though in the 70s. I mean, I think that it started it, and this is just my opinion. I don't think the Karate Kid would have remotely been as attractive if it wasn't for it having, ninja movies and karate and what have you, themed movies already in America for maybe a decade, I would say, because of, Bruce Lee and even other artists, actors, or how you want to define them, coming over into America, mainstream.
I completely agree with Lenny. Like, I don't think that the Karate Kid would have had even like a modicum of success if Bruce Lee didn't portray the invincibility of Kung Fu.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pose this question to the audience as you go along. Please comment along. I'm saying that yes, Bruce Lee. I think before I pose the question, I just want to make my statement on it. I think Bruce Lee popularized martial arts in the U.S., especially in movies. Yes. I'm saying the Karate Kid in the 80s created a boom of dojos opening up and more kids signing up.
Well, yeah, it's a kid movie. You're right.
But I mean, not when I say kids, I mean even like teenagers, things like that. Like, yes, Bruce Lee was like the poster you had on your wall, but the Karate Kid was like, oh, I can do that too. Bruce Lee didn't make you feel like you could do this too. Bruce Lee made you feel like, oh, okay, he's just awesome. He's untouchable.
I think that, in my opinion, Karate Kid helped with self-confidence for that underdog. He wasn't dorky, but like for the kids out there who need to take on that bully. I think it helped with that.
Which is, what the funniest part about that is? There's an old saying, an old quote that I love about the Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi did not teach Daniel to believe in himself. He taught people how to kick them in the fucking head. That's because there's nothing in that movie about like you have to believe in yourself. It's just learn the tactics and utilize them.
Yes. But see, I'll take you a step further. Like the movie that actually got me into martial arts was Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon.
Nice. Good call.
That's a cool movie.
Because for me, that was more so in the beginning of the movie, he's already at the master level.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the movie, he's training people to get to his level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great point. So, okay. So if that's the case, then what about like Barry Gordy's Last Dragon, yeah, that's one that gets you into it, but that's a cold one. Like that's one you got to find. There's a lot of people who don't know about that movie, but
Yeah,
like,
cult
Karate
classic.
Kid. But I really feel like the Karate Kid is what opened up the door for even like all of this rush of martial arts movies, not just karate movies. I'm talking Kickboxer, the American Ninjas, all those like hard rush of martial arts movies really came into popularity after not Enter the Dragon, because Enter the Dragon was still like 15 years before that.
I think we're giving Daniel LaRusso too much credit.
No, I'm giving Miyagi credit.
No, I think again, I defer back to my. It was already kind of set up in the United States, at least because of Bruce Lee. Karate Kid helped kind of maybe bring it to a new level, ish, for karate, for kung fu type of a movie. And then I think with the Reagan over craziness of action movies and horror movies and like everything else, they're like, you know what, let's just kind of flow into the flow and see if we can kind of take that element and work it with like a kung fu type movie.
Okay. All right. Well, so going forward then, where do you think the turn was that the Flood opened up with like the where it became really involved in action? Because think about the action movies that were coming out in America beforehand, like the Rambos and like the Terminators, Conan, things like that, like the big ones. There was a point where it turned, and like if your hero didn't know martial arts, it wasn't going to be that popular of a movie.
For the 80s or the 90s? Because I felt that turn helping a lot more for the 90s than it did for the 80s. Like in the 80s, I feel like a lot of our action stars are still big muscle-bound men doing the Conan type moves, like big broadswords, big swings, like the classic John Wayne Cross. Like, but for me, when everybody said that if you didn't know martial arts, like you were getting beat, it was Bloodsport. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh yeah.
Like at that point, it was for me. That's when the turn really happened. That's when you saw the Steven Seagals and although Chuck Norris was still big, that's when people really started paying attention to how good Chuck Norris really was.
Yeah. Well.
Okay. Well, really, you think so? Because Chuck Norris was pretty popular too for a while. Like he had a lot of movies in the 70s.
I mean, he had a couple even Bruce Lee. He not a lot, but didn't he have like 2 or 3 with Bruce Lee? I had him there, right? So,
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So for then with that, would you say, okay, so if it ushered in with like something like a Jean-Claude Van Damme, I mean, remember what was the movie Jean-Claude Van Damme was in? But he played like the side Russian character who was like the main
Black Eagle.
No, that wasn't it. It was he was like a henchman. He was like the
Drawn and blank, dude. Drawn and blank.
No, I got it. What is it? No retreat, no surrender.
I'm sorry. You're absolutely correct. I got the title wrong.
No.
That was the one where he did the split in the ring and just sat in the split for no reason.
Are we sure, or are we checking Wikipedia here? So
no, it's No Retreat, No Surrender, because I watched it fairly recently, and it's about a kid who practices martial arts. His father owned the dojo, and then mobsters for some reason wanted the dojo, so they like broke it. They had Jean-Claude Van Damme come in and break his leg. The kid starts training with the ghost of Bruce Lee, and then ends up fighting Jean-Claude Van Damme in the end. It's yeah. So I mean, it definitely fits the cult status.
It's a paycheck.
Yes.
Yeah. It was
No
definitely
retreat, no surrender. The final fight was in all white. Jean-Claude was in all white in a kickboxing ring. Yes.
It was very funny.
I remember that movie.
So, okay, I want to go through it like with Kickboxer. So Kickboxer is basically kind of, I think, what solidified Muay Thai in a way. Like people still weren't calling it Muay Thai back then, but it was kickboxing at that point. It came out. It was big.
Okay.
So that's when I think that rush of like, well, karate's cool and all, crane kicks are awesome or whatever, but this is where it's at. Would you guys agree with that?
Yes.
By Len's picture, he does agree.
Yeah, no. I think for some reason, I mean, this might be a separate conversational piece. It's a shame to me that, the Asian actors who were awesome, even more awesome than the American actors portraying this, didn't get their fair share. But anyway, you feel you needed those like built 80 look, and Chuck Norris had it. Jean-Claude Van Damme had it. Not necessarily Steven Seagal, but you had the moves, and you needed that selling point. And they had the check marks, the boxes, and they check mark, and they got it all.
So coming down to it though, when you have Kickboxer coming on the scene, Jean-Claude Van Damme was such like I don't know, his fighting style in the movies. Now, I'm not saying this is true fighting style, and I don't want Gerard to yell at me, but like, would you say like it was super clean? Like every other movie was kind of like it was messy fighting, even Chuck Norris in a way, but like it almost seemed like they were sparring in a lot of those movies. But in Jean-Claude Van Damme's movies, it was like it was almost picturesque when he would fight in the scene. Like every muscle glistened, and like the kick was perfectly straight. And
well, we have to remember his nickname was the Muscles from Brussels. Whereas we go back to Delta Force, Chuck Norris was really just putting on clinics for people. Like his backspin thrust kick was out of this world. It was always kicking somebody through a glass window.
That's
Whereas
true.
Jean-Claude Van Damme was always like 12 feet in the air, spinning split kick, which looks a lot better on camera, I'll admit.
And totally agree. I think too, Dry, it has to be the cinematography. It was just, it's almost like early style Matrix, where it's almost like a slow motion, like glistening. You see the sweat drops. It's great.
Yes.
That
and for the simple fact that every movie he had to throw in a split for absolutely no reason, which made every guy cringe and was like, I cannot do that. I have to have kids at some point in the future.
Was it really for no reason, or was the reason that he could do it?
Go back to No Retreat, No Surrender. He jumps in the ring, and the first thing he does is do a split in between the ropes. Why couldn't you just warm up? just a little bounce. That's all you need.
Because if you walk into the ring, and this dude just hops up and he's just doing a split with his arms folded, looking at you in the corner of the ring, psychologically, that's gonna mess you up.
Nice.
You'll be like, what is he doing? Either it's going to throw you off psychologically because you're going to be like, I'm going to beat him in no time. Like this guy sucks. He's doing splits. Or you're going to be like, I don't know what's up with this guy. There's something weird here. He's perched on the top rope.
He's like I know it's sports, but he's like the Dominic Hasek of karate here. You're going up for a one-on-one shot and you get intimidated because you're going against Hasek. I
feel like that was Len's chance to be like, I want one of your sports shows too.
And we need a fantasy football one on Scene Snobs. I'm saying, so
Hey, whatever you want, buddy. It's all right.
But getting back to it though, I think it's for the ladies though. You need to get the ladies into the movie theaters. So
that's a good point. I mean, a lot of what he did was to come off very sexy on the screen.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so your favorite, and Bruce Lee's out. Bruce Lee is always out because Bruce Lee's always going to be the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Your favorite martial arts. And let's go with like the cult, more Americanized known martial artists, because there's a ton that we can go overseas and just pay attention to. I mean, Donnie Yen is probably my favorite of all time. And we'll get to that question too. But I want to hear like that 80s, 90s actioneer star. Who's your favorite? Who you guys got?
Of all 3 decades? 4 decades?
Yeah, sure.
Len, you can go while I think about this one.
Okay. No, because Mike got me last week with this too, with a question, and I was like, I need like time to process these. But no, I mean, I've always had an appreciation, kind of like for the Jet Li ish feel, but again, he wasn't big. But I don't know. I just always appreciated the. It sounds lame, but like his move. Geez, this answer's coming off terrible. But
Donnie Yen's speed is so. Real quick, I'm going to tell you up front. I trained with Ome Wushu in Vienna, Virginia, for about 5-10 years, and I actually did get a chance to meet Jet Li in person. It was really cool. He came to one of our shows. But for an American martial artist, top 10 for the last 4 decades is probably going to be Michael Jai White.
Okay.
Cool.
If not, so I'll give you 3, so that way I can cover my bases. Michael Jai White, Wesley Snipes, and Scott Adkins.
Okay.
Nice. Scott Adkins is a good one.
So Michael J. White, I'm not gonna lie, I'm only familiar with a handful of his work, but what movies in your mind there, Gerard, or do you feel are like, Len, you gotta go out and watch this one tonight. Like, he's amazing to show what his talent levels are at.
Michael Jai White shows off. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the title of that movie. The title of the movie is Blood and Bone.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Mike Nick should have caught me on that one. I literally call that movie Michael Jai White shows off. He puts on a showcase of his skills from beginning to end.
Yeah. I'll watch any martial arts movie with Michael Jai White in it. I just see he's almost like today's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay, I feel like I'm missing out. Okay, I have to. Sounds like I got some material to watch when I get tired.
So if you, I can give you 3 that will showcase his skills incredibly, which is Blood and Bone.
Yep.
Condor, and Never Back Down 3.
3? You know, like
well, he was in 3 also.
Wait, okay, so
I like the second.
Okay, all right, 2. All right, cool.
Yeah, you know what Michael Jai White and I have in common?
You're both awesome.
Never Back Down 2 and 3, and I was in Never Back Down 1. That is not anything in common. I was just an extra. They filmed it right next to my school in Florida. It was so bad. Yeah, the end fight scene when they're in the parking lot. That's where I was. I was just like, yeah, beat him up. Real quietly, because you can't speak when you're an extra. Yeah.
It's your claim to fame there, Mike. And hey, enjoy it, man. You did it. I can't say that, so.
Not yet. I've not been in one yet.
You'll get there, buddy. I'll put you in one. Second Grade to Love 2.
Oh, gee.
The martial arts one.
You probably could rewrite it and probably do a fantastic job with it there. I mean, you guys got to hop on that.
Never again.
Never.
We'll never return. But you know, we're getting.
So Mick, let me flip the question back on you then.
Okay.
Who would you say is your top martial artist of the last 4 decades?
All right. It's a tough one because now you're saying favorite. And let's face facts. If I can't say Bruce Lee, I want to say Jackie Chan just because his movies are so entertaining. But I did say more Americanized version.
Ow. You did. Oh, I totally messed up that. Okay. So,
But I will say this.
Give me a kiss.
Jean-Claude Van Damme. Hi. Jean-Claude Van Damme is probably my favorite to watch. I can watch all of his movies, no matter how bad they are. And it's hard to. Which one?
I go Steven Seagal then. I've always had appreciation.
Oh,
I do.
Wait, like old school Steven Seagal was one of the most BA characters in all of his movies. Marked for Death, Under Siege.
Yeah. Thank you.
Like, in Marked for Death, he actually made me afraid of Akita because of the mall scene where he broke the Jamaican's arm, like, and just left him screaming on the floor.
that was pretty crazy. All right, Marked for Death, Above the Law, Out for Justice were pretty good movies.
Yeah, I'm not talking him and DMX. Like, I'm not talking that. Like, we're just.
Although that wasn't terrible.
It revived his career, and a box office standpoint. So,
I will say this: I know this is going to fall back on me, but I liked The Glimmer Man too.
Okay, hey, we all have respected, cult movies there. Again,
it's outlandish, but I like Keenan Ivory Wayne's in it. He's a good comedic relief.
Right. We actually have Chris chiming in. Oh, there
Chris Dale says Chuck Norris and Jackie Chan for old school, Jet Li and Donnie Yen for more modern. I agree.
Right.
Although Jet Li is pretty old school.
So Jet Li and Donnie Yen, I love them to death. And when they fought in what's the Monkey King movie?
Hero?
No, it was the one where Jet Li played the Monkey King.
Then the Monkey King. I don't know.
The reason I bring that up is because that was the first time I thought they fought on screen together, and I was wrong. And it goes back to an even further cult classic, which is called Once Upon a Time in China.
Nice.
The Forbidden Kingdom.
Forbidden Kingdom, yes. But their speed in Once Upon a Time in China is their speed. There's no camera tricks. They are that fast.
Jesus.
And that's what makes me love them the most.
I like them together in Hero as well, because they did have a fight scene in that.
Yep.
And I love the idea and how they kind of played it out, where it's a chess game. You watch the entire fight just from their thoughts. Like, it's their thoughts of, like, what would happen if I did this, back and forth. I always enjoyed that. I mean, those are the best, though. Like, those are the ones you're going to say. Like, I'm talking about the nitty gritty. When you say Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'm talking like, you got Bloodsport, you got Kickboxer, but you got Hard Target. You got Cop.
Yes.
Okay, I love Time Cop. Now, would you consider the Time Cop, because it's Jean-Claude Van Damme, not a karate movie, but he does do a lot more of the moves. Same thing with Steven Seagal and like in the Under Siege movie series and stuff like that. Like, would you consider those ish kind of kung fu movies, or are we just talking action?
I would consider them action more, martial arts action.
Okay.
What'd you say, Gerard?
Just because the final fight in most martial arts movies is between two martial artists.
You're all muffled.
Van Damme just literally kicked the guy into himself and disrupted Tom.
Yeah. And he also kind of he helped introduce it into sci-fi, the martial arts element in the sci-fi.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time, and I'm not saying with Time Cop, but Once Upon a Time in China, seriously is balls out. Iron Monkey is one of my faves. Jet Li is the one. Jet Li in the one is also crazy good. Yes, you are correct.
Yes.
They're all great movies. Jet Li's movies are fantastic.
So they brought up Iron Monkey, and Iron Monkey was my introduction to Donnie Yen.
Okay.
That's how out of the loop I was.
but you started there. You know what I mean? Like you can't.
And I saw it in
You were
theaters
out,
in
but looking back
2001.
then. Okay. But like, think of
I think
how
my
many
introduction to
actors-
Donnie Yen was the Ip Man series, but then I realized like, oh, this guy's in everything. So like
Yes.
going back, like then I started to notice Donnie Yen for being Donnie Yen, because I know the Ip Man series came later.
You know what? Actually, one of the things that actually aggravated me about Donnie Yen's career was when they put him in Blade 2, and they had no fight scenes with him and Wesley Snipes.
But do you think that might have been because of Wesley Snipes? Wesley Snipes is hard to. He's got an ego.
True,
but they're not sparring in
for
real
them
life.
to waste that opportunity, like regardless of his ego, there should have been a fight scene between Donnie Yen and Wesley Snipes. They are two of the greatest martial arts actors on the planet.
Maybe it was just ego again, you know, for both of them. You know, like even though it's scripted and you know progression of characters for the series, but again, maybe it just comes down to their ego. They just could not. Either one could not win / lose. So
true.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, because Donnie Yen doesn't strike me as that ego.
Well, the other side of it is Donnie Yen got killed off so poorly in that movie. Like he got killed off. He got killed off screen?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I can't remember that one.
I think he got killed off screen.
But again, maybe because maybe he didn't want to have that appearance on screen of him looking weak almost. So, you know, he gets killed off screen. That explains why his character's no longer there, and you know, you move forward.
You know, for me, I almost wonder too if like it was just sort of his way in the door for American films, and maybe that was kind of that was young for him in American films. And I mean, look what the guy's doing now. He was in Rogue One, and you know, he's in a bunch of stuff. So that might have just been his way of like maybe Wesley Snipes respected him and was like, "Why don't you come do a film?"
I mean, he did give him one of the most beautiful kicks in that movie. He gave him a triple kick to some dude's chest just because Donnie Yen could do it.
Yeah. He was so good at that. And the Ip Man series is just amazing. It really is.
Yeah.
Every single one of those movies I loved.
Which brings to mind the question, what is your favorite one-on-one black belt scene for a martial artist?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man. That's tough.
So you have Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Donnie Yen, and Chuck Norris has one for the Octagon.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to figure out what are the others.
Well, Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee have a fight together.
Yes.
Yeah. Last Dragon. Didn't they?
Was it The Last Dragon?
No, it's not The Last Dragon. It's Big Boss.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Bruce Lee in the Game of Death. No.
Okay.
You're gonna give me that one?
I'll give you Kareem, because a lot of people don't know that Kareem was actually training with Bruce Lee like outside of the movie, and that's why Bruce put him in there.
Okay.
Well, I will tell you this. We are doing a lot of talking about Bruce Lee and Jean-Claude Van Damme and Michael Jai White and Donnie Yen and Jet Li and Jackie Chan. But we are not respecting Sonny Chiba. We haven't brought him
Sonny
up
Chiba
yet.
is the man.
Yep. Sonny Chiba is, oh my God. Watch the Street Fighter, Len. I'm telling you, that movie.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Not saying nothing came out of my mouth. It was a tickle I had. So.
Nobody's picking on you. We're just saying you got to watch the Street Fighter. What is it? He's got so many good movies. But Len, you would know him from Kill Bill, Volume 2.
That was Gordon Liu. No,
Sonny Chiba.
wait, I thought that was Gordon Liu.
Who made this? Who made the swords?
Oh no. Okay, yeah. You're right. Gordon Liu was the crazy 88 in Pi Mech.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. So it's yeah, he's in there, but and Sonny Chiba made the story. I'm trying to think. He was also Sonny Chiba also made a lot of appearances. He was in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. He played the mob boss.
Yep.
He was in man, he made some bad ones too. He really made some stinkers as well. Because if you look, what is it? A Mortal Kombat, which was a Roddy Piper movie from the 90s. Ooh. He showed up in as his partner. Yeah, it's rough. Chris Sale says Don the Dragon Wilson versus Billy Blanks.
Yeah,
real.
All right.
100%. You're right. And Billy Blanks had a run of movies, man, of some cult movies.
Yeah.
He had Showdown, which was basically the Karate Kid. I was a kid in high school. He was training. He had one where he played a partner with Roddy Piper as well. So Roddy Piper worked with Billy Blanks and Sonny Chiba in 2 different movies. Yeah, Roddy Piper really respected.
No, he did. He always liked that crossover. He didn't. With different sports. He did that and boxing and all of them.
Had one of the best on-screen fights of all time, including martial arts movies.
Yeah, Keith David.
Yeah, well, actually, that was a good fight scene just for it within itself. Like, listen to John Carpenter talk about that movie for like 3 weeks. They trained for that movie, what they're going to do, and they wanted it to look as brutal as possible, and they really did.
Wasn't that fight scene like one of the longest filmed fight scenes, over 5 minutes long, I think, along those lines? Or
it's such a long fight scene. It's so funny. They do such a good job in that.
Yeah.
But I will say, kind of going into we talked about Sonny Chiba. I'm glad we got to mention him, and all the greats. We really got into it. One we haven't mentioned, but before we get there, I got to pay the bills. So bear with me, everybody. Kimball's cookies are carefully designed and hand decorated for every occasion. Make the holidays and those events like birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, and more even more special with Kimball's Cookies. Now accepting orders with designs for Christmas and Hanukkah. Visit Kimball's Cookies on Facebook to order your cookies today. And thank you. And okay. We talked about a lot of great martial artists and movies, but one we did not talk about yet, and I'm a little ashamed that we didn't mention him, is Sir Michael Dudikoff from the American Ninja series. And tonight we're going to be analyzing American Ninja.
Yep.
Let's see. Van Damme versus Sho Kazuki.
Yes.
Black Eagle and Van Damme versus Dolph Universal Soldier. Oh, man.
Wow. Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Chris is
that's one person that we don't talk about enough. Sho Kazuki is the epitome of martial arts ninja sworddom. For swordplay, ninjutsu, everything. I love Sho Kazuki. He actually made a comeback when he did Ninja Assassin. And they trained the Korean actor Rain to do all of his own stuff. Or most of his own
Chris
stuff.
on the show. He knows his stuff, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gerard and Chris have been hosting the shows. We could have had the night off here, Mike. So
we got to start a whole new martial arts show.
yeah.
Sho versus Nero is the best of all time. I don't know. In what movie, Chris? You stumped Gerard.
Sho versus Nero.
So I will say this. We have, all right, so we get down to it. We watched American Ninja this week, and that was our movie to Enter the Ninja.
Okay.
Enter the Ninja.
Yes. I got it.
If it has Ninja
I watched
in the
that
title,
one last week.
Gerard has watched it if it has Ninja in the title. He loves ninjas. And that's why I want to talk about the American one. So we watched it. It's probably been about 30 years since I've watched this movie. It's probably been like 10 days since Gerard's watched this movie.
Nope, I watched it again right before we started.
Nice.
This movie, I can't even describe this movie.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
Yeah. I'm not putting it down.
No,
I have
you
questions.
can't, dude.
So I rewatched it like in the last. So I watched it twice in the last 2 days. Don't judge me. I like ninjas. But what I notice more so now is the ninja arts that translate between movies. So like, I know where this is much later in the film, but the flamethrower that Black Star uses at the end is the same flamethrower technique that they used in Enter the Ninja with no, not Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja.
I don't know that. So all I know is it's super wacky. For some reason, Michael Dudikoff is an army private who went to jail, I guess, and a judge gave him, or went to court and a judge gave him a choice, like either join the army or go to jail, which was too much of a thing in the 80s. I feel like that was too much of a thing. Like, I feel like
like an A-team like plot line here or something, which is like why starting off the bat, I loved it. I was like, the plot is just so insane. You know, me working with the courts and I see this, I'm like, this would never happen, but I love it.
Oh, I did too. I loved every moment of it.
I'm going to keep
my opening scene where I completely turned off disbelief is where the army gets hijacked on the highway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
By some random bandits, and I was like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Not one army personnel person has a gun here. None. That's okay.
Suspension of belief was for me when I forget the character's name, so I'm sorry. Gets his head thrown through the front door window.
Madison
and he has 3 cuts on his face from his face going through the window. I just was like, really? Was like your budget for like makeup that low or something? Like, come on, guys. It was just, oh man.
All I know is for this movie, for me, it opened when they get hijacked. They get hijacked by like bandits. You're right.
Yeah,
and then like ninjas show up.
Yeah, it was like here's the appetizer. Now the main course.
Was it though? Because those bandits were kind of like, what are they doing here? You know, almost.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like the ninjas were more, you know, like I guess prepared would be the word. I mean, or trained, because I felt like the ninjas had more synchronization than an opening scene militia that just kind of like just got their butts kicked.
Well, they were the personal bodyguards, so they had to go on every mission, but they just didn't always engage.
Yeah.
They just saw things go wrong and were like, okay, ninja time.
Here's my biggest problem with this movie is, oh God, there were way too many gunmen in every scene. There were gunmen everywhere. In the beginning scene, they had like 50 gunmen.
Yeah.
Just to have like 10 ninjas show up and wreck house. And then, but you've got like legit 50 gunmen firing off and fighting the army guys, and I'll call them army guys for this purpose, and not soldiers because they were not fighting like soldiers. And then you have Michael Dudikoff who just shows up and beats up a bunch of people with guns, and it shouldn't have happened. He's just straight up walking at people and then grabbing the gun out of their hand. I'm like, just use it. Use the gun that's in you. What are you doing?
But see, here's my question though. Do you think they did that purposely to feed into the lore of the Invincible Ninja that guns aren't a substitute for swords, or because it was lazy writing?
Because it was lazy writing. Because they wanted stuff that was
lazy
writing.
It is the Invincible Ninja. Always.
Okay, let's fast forward to when he's at the house. First of all, the convoluted plan of arms dealers There's an arms dealer who both employs many, many henchmen with guns and an entire academy of ninjas run by the one Black Star Ninja, as they called him. And still can't figure out that the only good ninja that happened to train Michael Dudikoff in the movie is his like helper. But regardless of that, I don't even want to get into that part. I want to get into the part of you get to the point where he's at the house. Joe, who is Michael Dudikoff, is at the house, at the drug dealer's house. Not drug dealer. I'm sorry, it's not a drug dealer. He's an arms dealer who's working with the army to sell arms to Contra. I don't even know who they're selling arms to. They're just selling arms to people. And they're not even really selling arms. They're selling bazookas with gift baskets on them. Because that thing was like hanging off the side of the bazooka. I'm like, it's not going to work. It's got to be hanging down. Like, I mean, that thing's got to be dragging you down with the weight. It's ridiculous.
I just need to know why they had to blow up the helicopter at the end. It's not like it was really going anywhere.
And it was funny because he was waiting for it. He's like, come on, Joe, get off the helicopter. Get off the helicopter. Don't even get me started on Stephen James in this movie. And the 50 cal that he runs in on. Just, like, firing off at all of the henchmen, which you need because there's like 700 henchmen who are firing at any moment and not hitting anything.
Oh, I love it.
They're worse than stormtroopers in this movie.
It's the 80s, dude.
Oh, this movie, every choice they made in this movie made no sense.
Oh, it was great, though. It just,
I loved it. I loved every second of it.
I get it. I did too. It was so Reagan, it hurt. The Colonel standing next to the big mural of John Wayne.
Yes.
Straight up just a John Wayne photo, and he's just like looking. I'm like, oh my God. And then the other guy's on the phone and he's talking. There's a big mural of like Ronald Reagan right behind him.
The picture behind his desk where it's just huge Ronald Reagan. It reeks. It's almost like how Red Dawn was for like Reaganism. You know, it's just great. You know, it's just
this movie might have been done more for Reaganism than, and I don't know if they meant to.
That would be actually a good discussion. I feel like we should have like a top 5 Reaganism like movies of the 80s, like America. Team America over there is great. So.
That would be a good episode. I don't want to waste it on one episode. I don't want to waste it on the last, like, I don't know, 10 minutes
like
or so.
5 minutes. Yeah, no, I get it. No, I know that.
I want to use that, and I want to have Gerard back for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll throw Chris in there too.
So for me, there was one choice out of all of the bad choices that people made in this movie. There was one choice that I was like, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Ninjas wouldn't do this. They had the heavy bag swing set of Doom. Oh, guys, we have a special guest joining us, Mr. Jean-Claude Van Damme himself.
Hey, what is up, beautiful people? Wow.
We're glad
needed to bring my feet up so I could time cop it for you.
Yeah.
Not quite enough room here. The angles are wrong, but I could totally do it.
I believe you.
Do it now. You got to jump on the ropes just like he did in No Retreat, No Surrender.
Exactly. I mean, that's the only way to do it. I clearly missed the boat. Mick, you look beautiful and shockingly different than not so long ago.
Yeah, we just did a show together at 3 p.m. or at 4 p.m.
I was going to say, Casey, you don't like his Reign of Fire Matthew McConaughey look going on there?
That's exactly what it is. Oh, Lenny, you genius.
Or as I like to call him, Fatthew McConaughey.
Nice.
I like it. I like it.
Strong.
He even has a goatee look going too, which I love. So
the goatee is so strong on him, man. I mean,
we're talking about Michael Dudikoff right now.
No, I'm talking about you.
So before God, we're kind of rounding up, finishing out. I want to finish out the American Ninja and talk, and I want to let.
Who doesn't want to finish the American Ninja? Am I right?
No,
I always want to finish it. I talked to Lenny. I talked to Casey about this a little bit earlier because I gave him a sneak peek into my thoughts. The worst decision in that movie was for Michael Dudikoff to chase the Black Star Ninja through the heavy bag swing set of doom with all the ninja stars and the swords sticking out of each heavy bag. Why didn't he just run around it?
Yes.
He ran right through it after him. I'm just like, run around.
It felt like I was watching an episode of Most Extreme Elimination Challenge.
Exactly. Well, that's what it was. I'm sure they took it right from Mount Midori.
Yeah.
Mount Midoriyama.
Mount Midoriyama, that's it.
I love that show.
Kenny Blankenship, man, that guy was unstoppable.
Guy Ledouche.
Gerard, you tell us. I chose this movie for you because I know how much you love it.
Yeah, it was a great pick for Gerard, or if he picked it, I don't care. It was great.
He basically did.
The reason I love this movie initially is because it was the first for me as a kid, because I saw this 30 some odd years ago. It was the first time I got to see an American as a ninja. And it absolutely opened the possibility of, okay, if they can teach him, then there's got to be somebody that can teach me. So I read everything that I could, picked up every ninja book. I idolize and worship ninjas to this day. My wife asked me like a couple weeks ago, do you really think you're a ninja? And I was like, yes, I did. I am absolutely full-fledged 100% ninja. I gather information. I am martial arts skilled, and I will take out anybody that I need to upon orders. Unfortunately, my orders only come from my wife, so nobody's got to go anywhere.
Execution is still happening, though.
So I love American Ninja because one, the fight choreography in it is, for what ninjutsu actually is pretty spot on. Nobody's going head up and trying to do like hand-to-hand fights for every scene. A lot of it is Michael Dudikoff evading capture and just trying to outmaneuver people so that he is in a better spot. But when it does come time for him to engage, he has the skills to do so, which is what a ninja is supposed to do. Mm-hmm. It made the movie so much better that he actually engaged in espionage and he didn't try and take on everybody every single time. A lot of it was him literally running away and just trying to get back with the information that he got until he turns around and tells on the people who were trying to kill him in the first place.
And that's the American part.
That's the American. That's the most American part of the movie. So then tell me this, Gerard, if this is the most accurate portrayal in a movie, in like an Americanized version of Ninja movie, mm-hmm. So you're telling me that they don't eat pizza, skateboard, live in a sewer?
I never said that.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. No, let's
These aren't the mutant ones. That's the difference.
You know what? That's actually a martial arts movie we didn't name, and we should have.
Totally fair. Actually, real quick to your point, Gerard, I am completely with you on the exact feeling you have towards this movie, except mine was with the Samurai and the Hunted, with Christopher Lambert.
Mm. I watched American Ninja twice this week, but I guarantee you I watched The Hunted right before I watched American Ninja again.
Good man.
Because the train scene on that movie is brutal and amazing.
Brilliant. It's so good.
Good job.
Face.
Wait, what is The Hunted? Which one's The Hunted? Is that the
Hunted, 1995 with Christopher Lambert.
He's basically a samurai. He's an exec who has a target mark against him because he witnessed a ninja killing a samurai woman and the daughter of an important samurai. And so, yeah, I mean, it's very shaky ground there. So he basically becomes hunted and follows the samurai to protect him from the ninjas. And yeah, then he trains and becomes a samurai. And
so, side note on that, on The Hunted, what amazed me most about The Hunted is the fact that if you actually pay attention, Christopher Lambert gets away. And the only reason there's a continual ninja battle is because the samurai keep saying, look, the guy who saw your face, I have him. You need to come here. And they keep chasing him that way.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason the movie happens. Because they're like,
he does it to
I
himself
have
the whole
dates.
time.
Like, come this way. And they're like, look, I got away. Leave me alone.
So, okay. We have, Chris says Beverly Hills Ninja. Will we count that?
No.
Okay. I think that's kind of fair.
Such anger.
It makes, I think that makes fun of.
They ruined Robin's shoe, and they made a mockery of broadsword wushu. Those two things do not go together.
All right, fair enough. You are the expert, and I submit to you, sir. Samurai versus Ninja, good movie.
Yes, that was a really good one. And what I liked most about that one was when they pitted the two weapon styles against each other. So nunchaku, Chinese style, which is a tonfa, versus nunchaku, which is the chain version. I actually have two pair behind me. So they just went through Chinese straight sword versus katana. So it was a really good one. Samurai versus Ninja. If you haven't seen it, that's another good one.
What about Blind Fury?
Sho Kashugi.
Which one was the one that had Rutger Hauer as the blind guy?
Blind Fury.
Was Blind Fury?
Blind Fury, yeah.
Sho Kashugi is the final fight.
Okay. Oh, it is? Okay. So that works for you then. You would say that's definitely a cult martial arts movie. Okay. Even with Rutger Hauer running around with a sword.
Are we counting for ninja and cult martial arts movies? We put Big Trouble in Little China in there, right?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Lucky
Yeah.
Lemon.
Oh yeah. That battle was kind of epic.
I mean, come on, man. Wang was taking care of business.
Wang was doing work. Yeah, the
And then would you have
it's all in the reflexes.
It's all in the reflexes. That's right, buddy.
Nice.
You should have worn your shirt, man. It's
I
sweater.
was actually thinking about it, but I just hit the door and immediately came right. I haven't even turned lights on. I was like, I have to get on.
I was wondering why you're in the dark. It is funny.
He didn't want to show off the pecs tonight, so.
Ooh, yeah, I gotta hide them. They're so big.
Well,
You just made me realize what I want for my next poster.
What's that?
Big Trouble in Little China.
Which one?
Big Trouble in Little China. I want that poster.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to find it.
I have it over there. I have it right above my Jack Burton figurine.
Where it belongs. Place of honor.
I can't make it to your house fast enough to steal it from you.
No. You're not. I know you consider yourself a ninja. You're not taking my poster.
He's got that unbeatable.
Gerard's gonna be like, "I'm leaving the house now. You'll never see me coming." And then I'm just like, another 8-hour show, just ready to go. Got to stay awake. All right, so we had a pretty fun conversation about cult martial arts movies. We are kind of winding down a little bit because we have a new show tonight, everybody. I mean, make sure you are watching because it's going to be a very fun one. It's called Crossing the Streams, and it's brought to you by the Jeff Dwoskin Show. It's new to our Scene Snobs channel. Very excited to have them on. It's comedians talking about TV, and I am definitely in. So that's a new show. So make sure at 9:30 p.m. that goes live right here on Scene Snobs Facebook page. You can check that out. Man, we got to get you guys back on. What should next week's topic be? Let's do it.
Well, with us production value, it's kind of limited here on BTB, so we'll figure it out.
And that comes from the black space.
Yeah. AKA we do it the day before. So
Len, you're doing perfect for the podcast. That's all I'm saying. You're doing perfect for the podcast version of the show.
I'm just very happy to be able to interact with you, Lenny. This is awesome.
Thank you. I know.
And Gerard, again, this is great. This was a fantastic surprise. Didn't expect to see you. Righteous.
Yeah.
He was our special guest.
I always have fun with you guys.
Well, that's why we always tell you to come on. So come on whenever you want.
I know you should be more of a regular, girl.
I'm just going to start sending out links.
You should.
And if you decide to jump in, great.
Yeah.
If you don't, that's okay.
The free flow. BTB, baby.
Not you, Len. You're a host. You have to come on the show.
Oh, I kind of figure, but I like having just random people just showing up whenever. It's like Mr. Rogers or something. You're just like, hey, here's so and so.
I don't know which way that was going to go. I was afraid Letty was going to be upset and be like, you better talk to me first. This is a conversation, mister.
Not at all.
I realized that.
More the merrier. That's the way I always like it. So
I did not ask him whatsoever.
You just made his show a carousel, baby.
And this man is a co-host on this show. Like, that's messed up. So I'm sorry, Len. I'll ask you after the show is over.
With what?
Like, come on.
I'm fine.
Send you guys the links anyway. Mick, you should make a ninja horror movie. No, Gerard.
Ninja 3.
What?
Ninja 3.
Ninja horror movie?
It's a horror movie. It's about the a ninja dies and reincarnates himself into a woman and comes back to kill everybody.
Interesting.
So it's a ninja possession movie.
I think we could do better.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just talking about a slasher movie where
Ninja Poltergeist.
Well,
yes.
Listen, ninja movies are deep rooted in horror because, as we all know, the main actress in American Ninja was in Lenny's favorite Friday 13th film.
Friday 13th Part 4.
Yep.
Samantha.
Yeah.
She was in it.
She helped me during the Lenny transition period of puberty. So, yeah.
She helped you discover yourself, Len?
I discovered I was surprised by female anatomy on certain things that I was surprised. So if you watch Friday the 13th Part 4 and you pause it just right, you know what I'm talking about out there. So.
Oh, same. Yeah, Linnea Quigley actually introduced me to that.
Does digital work better?
Yeah. Get the little Blu-ray version of it there. But okay.
Lenny
What's a disc?
Lenny took it to a point where he was just like, yeah, I'm out. I'm going to abandon what I'm saying here.
I'm trying to keep it kid friendly and but letting the kids know that puberty wise, she helps you out. So
there is nothing wrong with that. That's part of health class right there.
Yes, it
Kids,
is.
that's a free lesson. You're welcome.
Yep.
That is good advice. We've just talked about people murdering each other with martial arts for about an hour and 10 minutes. But I will say that boobies in Friday the 13th is probably crossing the line. I'm just kidding. This is a movie where this is a channel where we talk about horror a lot. So, it's fine.
Most of it's boobs. Come on. That's what got us into horror. Those were the easy boob movies.
Yeah, they really were.
Your mom was never going to watch it with you. It was PG-13. You get away with it. And boobs.
Casey really has a way of simplifying things.
He breaks it down for you, which I love.
I'm going to check out Ninja 3, though, because a possession ninja movie does sound awesome right now. So
oh my God. If I got possessed by like the spirit of Bruce Lee, oh my gosh, I would go like on like a town kicking butt mayhem rally. It would be fantastic.
Yes, because you walk into any dojo and just say, we can fight one-on-one or all at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine Len doing that.
But he's possessed by Bruce Lee, so Bruce Lee did it.
Yeah.
It's WWBD. That's what he's living.
Yeah.
It's like that episode of Family Matters when Steve Urkel's machine turned Carl into Bruce Lee, and they fight a bunch of criminals because that's what that show did after a while. That's all it was.
Yep. And Stefan. Any reason for Stefan?
Any reason for Stefan. And then when he cloned himself and made one Stefan for Laura, and then he stayed Urkel because he wanted to stay true to himself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. You know what? We got to go and do another cult TV.
So what's the next movie, guys? What are we going to do next week?
I don't know. I haven't decided. And it's not just me. Len, do you have a movie you want to watch?
No, do I really not plan that far ahead?
Gerard's got something.
Yeah, I see that working. What's up,
And
man?
I feel
Bring
like
it.
it's a Christmas movie.
Oh, I'm excited. Krampus?
Krampus.
No, wait,
You're
you do that one?
obsessed.
Or what's the other one? Once Upon a Christmas? Is that the one? No, Santa's Sleigh.
I've never seen
Goldberg?
that.
The Goldberg one? Bill Goldberg?
Yes.
Nice. No, if you're gonna go Christmas horror, you have to go with Christmas Evil or Do Not Open Before Christmas.
I've never. Oh no, I've seen Christmas Evil. That was
Yeah.
actually when you made me watch.
Yeah.
It is so weird.
I
It's
know,
good, but it's weird.
Good, but the other one is just random ShopRite Santa Clauses being murdered. So
I've never seen that one. All right, we're gonna think about this, and then we're gonna get back to you. So who knows? Maybe Casey and Gerard are coming back next week.
I hope so.
I'll send them the link and we'll see. But I will say this, thank you guys for joining in. It's a fun time. Remember, everybody, check out the Jeff Dwoskin show and also check out his new show, which will be live tonight, Crossing the Streams, right here on the Scene Snobs channel. To my good buddy and co-host, Len, thanks for always for joining in, buddy, even with no camera.
Thank you.
I can imagine your beautiful face with my eyes closed.
Oh, I can shave for you too. So
Nice.
You did.
Because
You
I'm
really
thinking
got my
about you
camera that
naked,
wasn't working.
so, all right.
I'd shave for you too. I mean, I had to point it out. We both pointed out shaving. So I will say, Chris, thank you for watching. And thank you for everybody who watched tonight. This is fantastic. Chris, thank you for jumping in and always talking and putting out some good stuff. So you're a mensch. You're a mensch among men. Which is a good thing. So remember, everybody, check out thescenesnobs.com and all our shows. Casey and I host the Scene Snobs podcast live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Gerard is a very welcome guest on every show. I'm trying to make him a host of something, but
Gerard, let's put together a show.
So we're working it out though. My people are trying to talk to his people, but it's just the holidays and it's just what happens. But he's always fun. But go check out Gerard's videos too, because he's got some great ones out there. And also, guys, just thank you again for joining. So, and thank
Thanks
you
for
everybody
having us. Appreciate it.
You guys are the best, and I will talk to you guys later.
all right, be safe, everybody.
Be good to each other.
Bye, guys.
It